Episode 55, I'm Glenn Anderson.
I'm Ben Hanlon.
And before we start off this week's episode, I'd like to say huge thank you to our sponsors, Ball Griffin Inn, Pitside Pizza and Grill, VAR Electrical, Members First Credit Union, Coco's Cakes and Orem. And this week we're joined by
Mr. Al Foran.
Thanks a lot for
coming in.
This is Al Foran for Not Oosh TV.
How long are you working with Oosh now?
I've been working with Oosh since December 2024. We've been covering all the boxing events across the globe. It's been a blast so far. It really has. We're enjoying it. We've brought along Kellyanne Brennan to come along for the ride now. She's a staple part of the Oosh TV setup.
Daily.
So it's a collaborative process between myself and Kellyanne. She's running a lot of things in the social media, and it was needed. She's really amped it up a level, and she also provides that bit of escapism for the boxers, in a sense, like they're being asked the same monotonous questions.
Yeah.
I have to ask those questions, I suppose. Whereas Kellyanne, takes them to the side and does the quick fire round with them and gets them to talk about things that, they
wouldn't normally talk about.
Yeah, they wouldn't normally talk about and are comfortable talking about outside of.
She kind of brings them out of that shell.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think a lot of people don't see the work that she puts in behind the scenes with Oosh TV as well. It's phenomenal what she does. Her coming on board has been a game changer for Oosh TV.
Is there certain things that you want to ask but you're not allowed, or maybe a manager of the person won't let you, or?
No, not particularly. No, I think it's a free for all. But we're very careful in the questions that we ask. We don't want to rock the boat. No, we don't want to rock the boat. I think the boxers are prepared to answer the controversial questions anyway because of what's been said in press conferences. So, that's it's all out there in the public domain. When you look at examples, look at Eubank Jr. and Ben. There's a lot of personal shit that's said in those press conferences. Yeah. You look at the most recent one for the rematch. You got Eubank Jr. accusing Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn of blocking the ambulance leaving the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So it really is. It's in a sense it's a free for all with the boxing. There's a lot of personal things that are said.
Have you ever been a bit like starstruck meeting somebody, or a bit like a full circle moment in a sense?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I've learned over the years to stay composed though when being around, people who I've grown up, watching on the television. Honestly, and this may sound mad, I probably wouldn't be able to hold my composure, if I had met someone like. This is mad to say, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. I swear to God, I wouldn't be able to. I'd be like fangirling. I'd be probably bawling my eyes out.
I do think that about a lot of the people that we do meet as well, but it's like I'd be so nervous that my hands be sweating and all. Yeah. I'm like, my mind's gonna go blank. I'm not gonna go out to ask them. But as soon as you see them, it's like you're sort of clicking into character.
It's the adrenaline.
Yeah. It's like because we have to make it work. Like we can't. Ours aren't organised sometimes. So sometimes we have to
I've
catch
seen them,
on the spot.
But that's the best thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
that
the
is the best thing. Like people
we just have
love that.
We have to plug ourselves, know what to say, know what spots to hit and what not to hit, and just be ready. And we are, do you know what I mean? So that's.
And I think what works for us is we're actually passionate to meet the person, so that questions kind of flow for us because we know what to ask.
Of course,
because we've wanted to ask them certain things for ages, so it's just like ask them that.
Yeah. It's in a sense like it's effortless improv that you're doing and asking those questions. Yeah. Because you're passionate about it as well, and that makes life a little easier.
Something I was gonna ask you, like, seeing you've interviewed like so many, people that are at the pinnacle of the game, what three traits would you find in every person, or have you found like that's got them to the top sort of thing?
Well, confidence is most certainly one of them. Some of them have a quiet confidence,
Mm.
you know, that you can't really detect. Humble beginnings. A lot of them come from humble beginnings, and they're just, I suppose that falls into the same category as confidence in them being assured about what they want in life. Those would be the kind of the three traits that you'd find in them. Confidence, everyone who I've interviewed is very humble. I think the most confident person we interview is Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
Eddie just switches it on. When the cameras are in front of Eddie Hearn, he switches it on straight away. He just has this natural charisma about him. Yeah.
He's been around cameras his whole life, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
He's grown up in that environment.
Yeah. It's his ability, though, to do so many interviews at press conferences and weigh-ins.
Yeah.
And not be tired in those interviews. It's
Sure,
like
even
he switches it on straight away.
Even when Eubank is throwing digs at him, he doesn't know how to keep himself like composed without saying something stupid.
Yeah.
In a sense.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
He knows how to keep himself kind of in tune.
On a steady level, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you keep your confidence in the interviews? Like, see, sometimes when you're doing the accents or the impersonations, and some people wouldn't find them as funny or something like that. How would you
keep going?
You just keep going. How though? Where do you find
I've learned
that?
to do it.
Some people have a dry humour and they might think it's funny, but they don't know how to
Let it out of the
express
bag, lads.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford, yeah?
Yeah, like he was like stone faced. I seen
brilliant,
that
though.
one.
It's a video that I absolutely love.
Really, yeah.
Yeah.
How come?
Because it's different to the other ones.
Yeah.
It's different in a sense that he's such a tough nut to crack, but I do crack him a couple of times.
Yeah.
And I in a sense, like, that's an achievement to me.
Yeah, and he is hard to crack. Very hard.
Yeah. You talk, actually, there's the third trait, elitism. That's what he has. He has a sense of elitism about him. Michael Jordan-esque mentality is what Terence Crawford has. No bullshit. Pure tunnel vision for success. And that's, even me doing that quick interview with him where I'm doing impressions, I gauged that straight away. So that's the third trait that really kind of
stands out.
That stood out to me with Terence Crawford. But I made him crack a couple of times.
Yeah, seen that. I did see that.
And he never really laughs. Like, even in, I'd say, another person that comes top of my head, I'd say Cillian Murphy would be very hard to crack as well.
Such a tough nut to crack.
Yeah.
He'd be such a tough nut to crack.
And I don't even think that's them people, like, they don't find it funny. I think they just want to be that person that won't crack.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
As you said about, like, Terence, like, he's so focused on what he has to do next or whatever. I don't even think he realises that he's not living in the moment.
He's
in a
so
sense.
Focused.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not mincing my words and saying that he has like a Michael Jordan-esque mentality. He does. That's how great he is. You know, he's, yeah.
Explain elitism.
Literally nothing phasing you in the journey, you know, and getting to the very top of the mountain. That's what elitism is. A lot of people will view it differently, in a sense where it's, you know, people who are on a high pedestal and look down on people. There's two versions of it. That could be other people's version of elitism. My version, in what I see in Terence Crawford, is someone who just has pure tunnel vision and won't let any distractions phase him in getting to the very top of the mountain, in being essentially the pound for pound number one. Now, there's an argument to be made that it's Usyk now, but that's the kind of mentality that Michael Jordan had. If you watched,
and Kobe Bryant, there's actually a video
the
of Kobe
Mamba
Bryant.
mentality. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a video of Chris Rock, and he's sitting right beside Kobe Bryant? So in the basketball league, have you seen it? Yeah. And Chris Rock is purposely like making jokes to somebody else, but in his own head he's probably thinking, I'd love to try and make Kobe laugh behind me.
Yeah.
And Kobe is just,
They explain
didn't
on,
realise he's there.
I think it could have been on the Jimmy Fallon show.
Yeah.
I think he was sitting there with Chris Rock and a few other people, Kevin Hart and that, and they put it was like a picture up, and Chris Rock is sitting right beside Kobe and just cracking jokes, and you can see him in a laughter.
Yeah.
And Kobe's sitting in like this, with his hand, with his head in his hands, just looking straight at the pitch, no expression on his face, nothing.
Yeah.
And they're just saying like it's one of the funniest people in the world, sitting right beside him, cracking jokes, and not even a smile out of him.
Not a smile, yeah.
Do you walk away inspired, or do you walk away like with a bit of a internal buzz, or like pat yourself on the back when you get
the
these
Crawford
interviews?
thing? Oh, I was buzzing.
Really,
I was buzzing. So we got arguably the best boxer on the planet.
Yeah.
On Irish TV. That's, you know.
Yeah, to me, him is extraordinary in itself.
Yeah, and it's ticking off the boxes for us as well, in what we aim to achieve for that channel, you know. And very early on, February, we did that interview.
Yeah.
In Riyadh, just after Shakur Stevenson had beaten Josh Padley, so he was there with Shakur. He's obviously very close with Shakur. I think the stable mates as well. So, yeah, like.
Do you have a list, or do you have like a target that you would try and work towards, or make sure you're at this event to get this certain person?
Well, we'd love to get Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
You know, we'd look, and I've worked with Tyson Fury throughout the years. I've done many shows with him. Tyson is very, very happy in his own skin at the moment. He's happy away from boxing, especially this year.
Yeah.
He is looking at coming back in 2026, and hopefully then we can do something with Tyson Fury. That would be
do his impression to him.
Well, yeah, and there's a sense of familiarity. I've done the impression to him so many times.
Yeah.
You know, there's a sense of familiarity there with myself and Tyson, you know.
Yeah.
Throughout the years, and
Would
he's been very good to me as well.
Would you talk to the people that you interview before or after the interview, or would you?
Oh, you
ask
talk
them
before,
personal
yeah,
questions,
you talk before.
just to break the ice a bit.
Yeah.
What would you talk about?
You talk about what you're gonna essentially talk about in the interview, but you're talking in a very casual manner.
Yeah.
You know.
I'd say, you know, Eddie Hearn inside out now, seeing so much around him.
Yeah, no, I chat to Eddie a fair bit, but Eddie, once the interview's over, Eddie's away.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, he's away. It's not
personal. He's a busy
It's not
man.
personal. He's a businessman. He's busy. He's off his feet. He's, you know, I can only imagine the amount of things that he needs to tick off.
Yeah.
You know, throughout the day. So, like, we understand it. It's like we're just grateful for when we get him on camera, and you know some of the bits we get. Like one of the most recent interviews we did with him, where he provided us his thoughts about, you know, Ricky Hatton and him passing away. It was just a beautiful moment. And him talking about the impact that Ricky Hatton had, not just on boxing in the UK, but boxing from a global standpoint.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a great piece from that interview that we got, and you know, it's a testament to Eddie Hearn, and you know how good he is on camera, and how, you know, passionate he is with regards to boxing. You know, it was a lovely piece, and we really, you know, it's something that we look at and we're very proud of, you know.
Deadly.
And how did you get into doing impressions yourself? Was it something that you've always done as a kid, and you just...
aunties and uncles.
Was it? Yeah.
Cousins, friends of the family. That's how it started. Teachers. And then eventually I delved into doing like footballers, actors. You know, it was like I've been doing it since I was a kid. Picking up different mannerisms.
How did you find the confidence to start posting on social media? Because it's one thing to be confident doing impressions and putting yourself out there with family and friends, but social media is a whole different thing, and some people will be afraid even to post a picture of themselves on social media.
Yeah, it takes a lot of cojones to do it.
Yeah.
But for me, it was the only avenue in getting my name out there, because I had tried to send videos via email to the likes of Today FM, 2FM. I remember, like, before I started posting on Facebook, I was very kind of, I suppose, confident in myself that I'd approach people and do impressions for them. Like, I remember, I don't know if you know Niall Boylan. Do you listen to Niall Boylan on Classic Hits?
I know the name. Yeah.
So Niall Boylan was the DJ in Tomangos for years, and I went up to Niall Boylan and I was doing Pacino and De Niro. And he, you know, approached me and said, "Oh, can you do who was the Minister for Finance at the time? Michael Noonan and Enda Kenny for a little piece on the radio that he did for his nighttime show, and I went on and did that in 2011. But the year before that, in 2010, so I'm 33 now, I'm 34 in November, I was doing my leaving cert at that time, and I wasn't studying, lads.
Yeah.
You know, I was focused on, you know, putting on my first gig in the Portmarnock Sports and Leisure Centre at the age of 18. I remember posting videos online, posting them to YouTube, and they went viral in Malahide and Portmarnock at the time where I'm from. And yeah, I remember just posting those videos, and then I did a gig a month later. 20 minutes of the gig was the material that I had written for it, and then I just did an extra hour of improv, so it was an hour and 20 on stage.
Did you have people put limits on you or not believe in you and try and knock you down, saying, oh, you won't be able to make a career without, you have to make sure you have something behind you, or make sure you have a plan B?
Luckily enough, my family have backed me all the way. My mum, my dad managed me for a period of time. He still kind of does. They've just backed me the whole way. They have been so supportive. And I find myself in it, you know, in a different scenario now because I have my own family. You know, I have 2 young kids, married, and with that, yeah, of course, there's a sense of uncertainty there. You know, what job is next? So you just got to keep on ticking. You got to keep staying relevant. You know, and I'm not very good with posting on social media. I post the odd time, my own stuff. That's because I'm very busy being a father. But when I have that time, I have the luxury of that time, I put 110% into it. You know, you see in the videos I did, the auditions, you know, the Batman auditions, the James Bond stuff, just randomly doing Tony Soprano. It's stuff like that I put 110% in to, and just kind of make sure it's getting out there, because Oosh TV is taking up a lot of my time as well, understandably so. But I do like, you know, tapping into, you know, Al Foran, the Impressionists, you know.
Tell us what
videos.
Sorry for interrupting you there. Tell us what the key moments were from that first gig in Portmarnock to bring you up to where you are today. Tell us a few of the key stories or traits.
Oh, well, there was a big in between there, you know. I did my leaving cert. I got my course. Down the road there in Colossadulic. That's why I did film studies. I studied film production for 3 years. You know, got me degree in that, but like, what do you do after that? It's not as if you get that college degree. Well, I'm going to be directing the next James Bond film. You know, it's in that business, it's all about who you know.
Yeah.
But in between, I did that course. I enjoyed it. I became a bit of a, what's the word for film snob? Became a bit of a snob when it came to movies. You know, I was enjoying artsy stuff and shit like that. Not art house films like from, you know, Europe or anything like that, but just I was really tapping into watching, you know, different directors, and at the time I was passionate about it, and then I kind of stopped, you know, kind of been zoned in on film too much. Don't get me wrong, like I have a great interest for TV and film, just not as much as when I was younger. I don't take notice of the cinematography anymore in movies. I used to.
Yeah.
Although I did see, I don't know if you've seen it, One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio.
That's new, isn't it? The new, I haven't watched it yet.
It's a masterpiece.
Is it? Yeah.
So would you be able to break films down and see like what sort of scenes they done and
I could break, like at one point I could tell who the cinematographer was for certain movies. Like there's a cinematographer, American cinematographer by the name of Roger Deakins, and you can tell when it's his. You can tell the cinematography, the color palette of the movie. You can tell, oh, that's Roger Deakins. I could at that point, but then I kind of just became detached from that a little bit, you know.
Yeah. Tell us about the period after college then. How were you sort of bringing in money, and did you have a job?
Working in retail.
Oh yeah.
I was working in diesel in the ILAC.
Oh yeah.
I was in Swords while I was in college. I was working in diesel and Swords, getting.
Because you haven't seen that brand in ages, diesel.
Yeah, the Irish diesel now. There's two. There's
two different
there's
ones.
a global diesel and there's the Irish diesel. Yeah.
Jesus.
So this will be the one in Pavilions. They have one in Jervis. They've one in Ilac. So I worked there.
Yeah.
And then I worked in Tommy Hilfiger after that. So I was in fashion retail, and I actually enjoyed it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I had good crack. Listen, I wasn't earning much money, but
you enjoyed
good
what
times,
you were doing.
a bit of a buzz. Christmas time was absolutely chaotic working in a shop like that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's crazy, but you'd be on a buzz Christmas Eve, leaving the shop and heading to the pub. I don't do that anymore, obviously. But yeah, like I did enjoy that aspect of it. I was in Ilac for a year as well, and that was crazy in there in the Ilac.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, you got a couple of characters in there.
That gives you a few stories to tell.
Well, yeah, let's just say I had to run after a fella who grabbed a rack of t-shirts. Walked by the security guard. You gonna do something about that? Not my problem. So, no, Ilac was great. Like, because my mom's a hairdresser as well, and she had a salon down the road in Talbot Street for years. She worked in Snips in Abbey Street from when she was a teenager, and then she opened up her own hairdressers in Talbot Street. So I kind of grew up around town from a young age, going, being there on a daily basis with my mum. And yeah, that was good times.
Have you a key like mantra or a key like piece of advice that you've got that's got you to where you are now, that you've always had in the back of your head if something goes wrong, or remember a certain thing to keep me going?
There's a certain quote, my mum always says it to me, and this is where I go back to the support hope that I have with my parents from the start. I would, like, at 18th birthday parties and stuff like that back in the day, I'd do a little piece, and I'd do impressions of actors and Rooney and Ferguson and Rio Ferdinand and all that. And I remember saying to my mum, I was so buzzed after one of them, and I said, Jesus, Mum, if I could make Portmarnock laugh, I can make the world laugh. And that was one of the
mantras.
Yeah, I probably would have forgotten the quote. My mum always reminds me of it every day.
Yeah.
But as well, with regards to trying to be motivational, if there's something that you're passionate about, if there's something that you really want to do, don't let anybody deter you away from that. Stick to it. Hone whatever craft you need to hone to perfect that hobby or whatever thing you want to do in life. Stick to it. Because if you're unhappy in your own skin doing something, then it's not for you.
Yeah.
Go with something that you're passionate with. That 100%.
And how do you deal with like the travelling aspects of things now, and like keeping your energy up?
Shite.
Yeah.
Shite. I'm sick of the fucking airport.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
I say so.
Fucking red car park. But it is what it is. I'm in and out of the airport all the time.
Yeah.
The security know me well in there.
Yeah.
It's mad, like, because Callie-Ann and we have a videographer as well who we've used a lot the last couple of months. Roman is his name, and the two of them are in the airport like 3 hours early, and I arrive, I'd say on average 40 minutes before the gate closes. That's when I arrive. That's what, yeah.
Jeez,
that's brave.
But it gets me there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets
no
me.
messing around, just straight down to the flight.
I'm just straight there. I get to, say my flight's at, I have a flight tomorrow at 9:10 in the morning. I will leave at 7:10. And I'll get there, I'll get there in half an hour. In the red car park. That'll take about 15 minutes to get to the airport, and voila, I'm there. Half an hour, 40 minutes before the gate closes. It's grand. And I always get there on time.
Yeah. Would you even do that with the American flights?
No. That's the exception.
That's a different story.
That's a different ball game altogether.
Yeah.
The American flight is just different.
How do you deal with like the jet lag of things, like, and then having to do the impressions?
We only did New York. We did DC in January, which was mad. That was just an experiment for us. And my jet lag wasn't too bad coming back from DC, but my jet lag coming back from New York was
bad.
I think it was probably purely down to the fact that I came back, and 2 days later I was in London for Usyk and Dubois. Jeez. So it was just, July was a heavy month for boxing. But it was one of the best months for Ush TV as well.
Yeah.
With regards to the views and engagement we were getting, and the events we were covering, the magnitude of the events we were covering. It was a brilliant month for Ush TV. But yeah, Jesus, I was tired.
I'd say you look forward to meeting everybody that you know you're gonna meet.
Yeah, well, all the media, there's so much boxing media there.
Yeah.
And we're all pally. We're all in it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of competition there. They want to get the best interviews, but there's great camaraderie between everyone.
Yeah.
You know, in the boxing media community, which is great to see. You know.
If you were to describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be and why?
Oh, 3 words. Oh, God. There's 2 words, and I said it before, but I know I'm probably revealing it. The mask is slipping, but I'm quietly confident at times. So yeah, a quiet sense of confidence. I'm humble, and I'm approachable. I'm an approachable person.
Yeah.
Anyone can approach me and have a chat with me, and I'm willing to talk to anyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way I like to be, approachable. I fucking say that, and Jesus Christ, the amount of times these poor lads have tried to get me on this podcast. I'd like to think I'm approachable.
What is your definition of success?
God. I mean, there's a lot of definitions of success. A sense of a sense of happiness. Not like, my definition of success is, I suppose, you want to create legacy, don't you? You want to have a bit of a legacy behind you that your kids can kind of
look up to.
Yeah. We want to create that legacy. But my definition of success is just juggling the happiness and the success together. You know, because at the end of the day, I've got a young family too, and I've focused there. They are a key focus in my life. So I'm juggling both of that, and I want to feel the happiness of being a father to 2 young kids, being a husband. And also I want to juggle the success, and I want them both to be compatible in that sense. So my definition of success is compatibility between happiness and success.
So would you, like, a lot of successful people say they have a purpose, and usually that family is the purpose that drives their success. Would that be the same for you?
Yeah. The dynamic has changed.
Yeah, like they'd be your why, in a sense, like on the days you don't.
They are my why.
Yeah.
They are. Now, acting has always been one thing that I've looked at. It has. I've always wanted to be an actor. Because if I can do all of these impressions, these imitations, then surely I can I can give it a go on the screen or in the theatre or whatever. I've been in a TV show before. I've been in Borders, which is a hit show on the BBC. I did the Panto a few years ago in the Olympia. So I have a bit of a background in that sense. I've done a couple of short films. I've directed short films, obviously, with my experience in doing the film production course. I have that experience as well. So acting is something that I would like to.
Have you ever thought about doing like voice
to.
acting in a sense?
Yeah, voice acting would be ideal.
Yeah.
That'd be ideal. I'd love to do that. You know?
Especially with like the amount of like animation that's out there now, with AI and everything else that's coming in.
Well, AI, Jesus. Don't mention the war. I'm going to put all of us out of business.
Yeah.
How do How do you keep the interviews fresh and the accent sort of fresh, if you know what I mean?
Well, it's funny enough, like with the impressions, as time goes on, they get better and better.
Yeah.
You're honing your craft. You're improving the impression on a daily basis. You don't actually notice it, strangely enough. So, like, if I was to do, like, Trump a couple of years ago when I started doing that impression, well, it was very like that. It was so like that. Now, how do I do it? It was very Trump like that. Okay, very like that. But now, it's more very okay. It's great to be here. It's a tremendous podcast.
Yeah, that's
you notice it? There's a lot of differences between that Trump a couple of years ago and, the Trump now. It's
the
stark
American
differences,
accent comes out.
Well, it is, and it's the mannerisms as well. It's the way you're moving your hands.
Yeah.
It's funny as well because when you do the impression and you do the voice, the mannerisms, they come naturally with it. It's not a step-by-step process. And that's the truth.
And once
you learn the voice, you actually develop the mannerisms with it.
Yeah. Would you study the likes of Trump? Like, would you look at interviews of him?
Still studying him.
Yeah.
Still finding new inflections to work on, to imitate. Every day is a school day when you're an impressionist. That's 100%. You don't. Once you have it perfected, it's not like, oh, I've got that now. I don't even have to go back on that. Yeah, you might not have to look back at that impression and constantly watch interviews. You might not have to study that impression intensively. You can just casually study it as time goes on and develop new mannerisms and new inflections in the voice.
Definitely,
yeah.
Is there any impressions you can't do?
Yeah.
Is there?
Loads.
Is there loads you just can't crack?
Loads.
Yeah. How come? It's just the change of voice or the deepness or lowness or...
Yeah, like there's some that I haven't got and then I went back to them and I got them. But with me, when I'm doing an impression, like, I don't know, do you sing in the shower? I think people sing in the shower.
Yeah.
People sing in their car when they're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing impressions. That, like... It's like
can only imagine your car.
But it's in the car. Oh, constantly.
Yeah.
My poor daughter, my 6-year-old, she thinks I'm a lunatic.
Does it ever come out by accent or anything? Like say you're at the dinner table, you ask someone to pass something and you're thinking about an accent or something, it just comes out.
No. I can just go in and out of it.
Yeah.
You develop that skill of just comfortably going in and out of the impression.
Who would you say is your best? Like, who would you be most confident with? Or, I've cracked that one. That one's
De Niro and Pacino, Tyson Fury.
Yeah. Fury's
gotten better over the years. The biggest crowd reaction is Joe Pesci and Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
When you're doing Eddie Murphy, man, you're making the people laugh and shit like that. You know what I mean? And that's it because it's an energetic impression. And it's it's a pudgy little white boy doing the impression. You know what I mean? And that's just crazy shit. People can't grasp the reality of that.
I see another one that you would have studied over the years. Yeah. To master.
Yeah, 100%.
He was in so many films as well, though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You probably
So
would have
many.
watched
Yeah, Donkey from Shrek and Denzel was one that I did for years,
Yeah.
That's why, of course, when you're doing Denzel, that's why you got to tap into that character. That's okay. Well, and then it's all like that when you're talking with your voice like that and, and you're going in, it's like you're doing a monologue as Denzel. Everything is in control. That's right.
Do you know another question I have for you? And it's something I've looked at, like, do you ever notice people, like, from when they're at the bottom, especially in acting, I've noticed it, like, when they're starting off, and then when they get to stardom, they kind of speak differently. Do you think that's trained, or is that just something that...
I don't know, but I noticed it with...
Like, I've noticed it with loads of people, like...
I noticed it with footballers.
Yeah.
They were playing in England. I don't know what kind of hybrid fucking English-Irish accent.
Yeah.
I call it the FAI accent.
Yeah.
It's very much like that, and they're talking like that, and straight to the point. I thought I scored a good goal, but, they all talk like that.
Yeah.
Everyone in the FAI who played over in fucking in League 1 or League 2 have this
Yeah.
hybrid fucking English stroke Irish accent.
Yeah, like one that I always notice it's with Barry Keoghan. I don't know whether that's because he's an actor or whether it's because he knows he's at the top now. He has to speak a certain way.
I think a lot of people say that about McGregor as well. But I think because they're American crowds, if you're speaking in a proper rough Dublin accent, sometimes they can't understand you. So you do need to maybe drag your words out or slow down a bit or talk a bit the way they talk so they understand you.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, I think they'd be able to understand him anyway.
Yeah.
You know, and him speaking in that voice. I don't think it's hard to understand.
It's like when you're talking to someone
sometimes, like, it depends when you're talking to. Depends who you're talking to and where they're from.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me think. Like, I don't know. Say I was talking to someone from England or something. Or,
Uncle Murder didn't really understand us.
yeah, Americans. Like they don't. We talk too fast or something for them.
Right, you watch Monday Night Football every week.
Yeah.
I can understand what Jamie Carragher's saying, and he's speaking in his natural accent.
Yeah,
I can't, you know. I can.
Yeah.
Do you know? And it's very like that. Of course, you're talking about Liverpool at the moment with Arne Slot. They're struggling at the moment. 3 games, you know, three losses in a row. It's a big problem. But they're missing Luis Diaz. They're probably missing Trent Alexander-Arnold. But the fans don't want to admit that because they don't like Trent. I think he's a traitor.
That one's a really good one.
What was your first one that you've learned to do? Like, what would be in the Portmarnock days ones?
I mean, Jedward. Because they were like bubblegum at one point.
Yeah.
Especially back in my day when I was in school and X Factor was on. Like, I don't know if you remember how big X Factor was every year?
Yeah.
It was huge. And I remember Jedward were on it. I think it was 2009. And I remember doing the Jedward impression. Because it was when I was in 6th year. I did the impression over the intercom in school.
Did you?
The school chaplain put me up to it, right? So usually she did this thing called Thought of the Day, where she'd say a little prayer on the intercom. Everyone in the school could hear it. Then she'd play an inspiring motivational song. So it was a Friday, and every Friday they played the Cure, Friday I'm in Love, you know. But this was different. She said, "Oh, we have a special guest here in Portmarnock Community School. 2 special guests, in fact." I went on the intercom. "Oh my God, it's me, John, Edward. We're so happy to be here in Portmarnock Community School. Oh my God, it's awesome, so amazing. Want to wish everybody all the best in their leaving cert, the 6th years and the 3rd years and the junior cert. Wow, so cool. Isn't it cool, John? Yeah, it's cool, Edward."
Step down to a T.
I swear to God, a fucking stampede. As soon as the first class ended, a stampede of girls mainly running towards the bleeding front office to see where John and Edward was, because, you know, back then with the hairstyles that they had, they certainly weren't the toughest to pick out. You know. But I remember we tricked the school, me and the school chaplain.
Jeez, Jedward were huge. I remember he brought them out to Croke Park before. Yeah. I think they done a show. I think it would have been half-time one of the Dublin games, just midweek game I think it was, or Friday. I remember as a kid even, and like
they were massive.
Like, yeah.
They were, as I said, they were like bubblegum at the time. And you look at as well, you know, talk about Croke Park, you look at Garen Noon a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Robbie Williams.
That was amazing, that was.
Yeah, you got like a rapturous roar from everyone in Croke Park.
Yeah.
Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a guy just making videos in his house on social media. You know.
It's nice.
You got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
And he's consistent as well.
If you could pick any 5 people in the world to interview tomorrow, who would it be?
Stone Cold Steve Austin, there we go. He'd probably tell me to fuck off, but I just think he's the greatest athlete ever. Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Sir Alex Ferguson. Liam Gallagher. Yeah. Liam or Noel? Can we have them both?
Both.
Yeah.
Have
Yeah,
them
both.
in
Yeah.
one. Yeah. Especially after
We'll put down Oasis for that one.
Oasis, especially after they, you know,
After the gig.
Yeah, Croke Park. They've, you know, reunited.
Yeah.
Be an interesting interview. And the last one. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. It's a tough one. There's so many actors I'm thinking about. And I can't narrow it down to one. Do you know what? Do you know what would be really interesting? Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, that'd be an amazing.
Yeah. Just purely down to the fact that he's an incredibly nice person.
Yeah.
And it would be very interesting to interview him. And just kind of just get his kind of thoughts on life. I could name so many actors that would, like Matthew McConaughey'd be great, you know. And then the likes of De Niro. But De Niro's very grumpy.
Yeah.
As much as I love him, he's very grumpy. Michael Jordan would tell us would tell everyone to just fuck off.
Yeah, geez, Michael Jordan never does interviews, ever.
Never.
But like gold dust literally getting him, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Kobe was a bit more outspoken, but I think Jordan just has that real, as you said, like kind of like back in the day kind of mentality where his interviews were big in his day.
Old school. And he pushed his teammates to the limit.
Yeah.
To the point where they didn't like him. That's the going back to Terence Crawford, that's like that elite mentality that Jordan had, where he pushed his teammates to the very limit, where he, in a sense, he forced them to not like him but respect him. That's kind of
what he done.
That's how successful he was. I just think he's the the bar for everything. He's the bar you have to reach if you want to be at the very just pinnacle in life.
Yeah.
He was that good. I didn't name any boxers, by the way.
No.
Would you have a standout?
There's so many, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Is there a certain?
Is this dead or alive?
Can be anybody.
Can be both.
Yeah, like. But if you're looking at people who passed away, I mean, Muhammad Ali,
Michael Jackson,
Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain was an interesting character.
Yeah.
Because Nirvana were going to be, if Kurt Cobain, bless him, if he didn't have so many of those issues going on with, with drugs and overall his mental health, bless him, they were on the route to be the one of the greatest bands of all time.
I actually was only talking about this today. I think it's amazing how some people have such big impact, but they'll never know. I even think of this in small terms as well. Like, a big example would be Michelangelo. He died, thought he was a failure, thought nobody knew his art, thought he wasn't a great artist. He died a couple of years later. People discovered him as this mastermind. Even people that post a video on social media and might get 2,000 views and people be like, oh, I'm only at getting 2,000 views, but that could have an impact on 200 people, and that's huge. I look at things like that, like you don't realise who you're impacting and how you're doing it until
you're so right.
Yeah, because the world is a big place, like, do you know what I mean?
The world is a big place. It's a big place, and it's a scary place as well. We are in incredibly uncertain times at the moment in this planet, and it's worrying. It's worrying for me. Jesus, the perspective, it doesn't necessarily change, but the perspective amps up for someone like myself who has young kids and is worried what's next.
Is there certain things that you'd ask these people if you got them? Like, say you got Michael Jordan, you mentioned him a few times. What would you ask him?
Oh God,
just off the top of your head. Obviously there'd be more as you think and study, but just one thing you'd really like to ask him, or even advice or whatever.
I'd be stroking his ego and asking him this, but I just had to, was there ever a point where you felt like a god?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was there ever a point where you just felt indestructible?
Yeah, 100%.
What advice would you give to the younger generation?
To the younger generation, I think don't need to tell them to express themselves. I think the younger generation, especially Gen Z, are fantastic at expressing themselves because they're doing that via social media. What I would tell them is going back to what I said earlier on, if there's something that they really want to hone in on and they're passionate about, then go for it. Go for it. And don't let anybody tell you differently. Do not let anybody tell you different. Tell them either internally or externally, coming out of your mouth, to fuck off. Do not let them deter you from achieving whatever you want to achieve in life. You know, we're all passionate about something.
Yeah.
You know, we all have our individual passions, and if someone wants to chase that, go and chase it. 100%. If you're in a course in college, that's incredible. That will, you know, you finish it, you'll get a master's or whatever. But if you're not enjoying it,
yeah. I always think
drop out.
Yeah.
Simple as.
Don't be afraid
at that point, it's a chore to you.
Yeah, like don't be afraid to take the leap.
Do you know what? Maybe I'll go back on that advice. Get the masters, but if you don't want to do it at the end, don't do it. Because you'll always it'll always be something to fall back on. That's a, like, there's someone I know who has a masters, and like could fall back onto a really good job, but is passionate about doing something else. You know, I've worked with this person, you know, countless times, and like, fair play to that particular person chasing their dreams and what they want to do, chasing what they're enjoying doing. And you never know, they might come back to it in a few years' time and, you know, use that master's degree to their benefit. So that's a good tool to have.
Do you think having a plan B is always best for people though?
Oh yeah, well, it would be. Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah, well, it would be, but listen, you're talking to a plan A guy.
Yeah.
There was no plan B for me.
That's what I think though. If you had a plan B, maybe you mightn't be where you are today. If you had something to say on the days where you felt like, I don't want to get out of bed, or this isn't working, or I don't know what to do next, and you had, right, I can just drop back and I'll do this in the back of your mind, then you might not be where you are today. It's the same with Michael Jordan. He got dropped from his basketball team and all of that. If he had just decided to roll over and quit and go to a plan B, we wouldn't have had Michael Jordan.
No. Did you ever watch that movie as well? About
the
last, yeah, Shoe Dog.
No, Air.
Air, I watched that, yeah.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
The last dances. Oh, that kept me going during COVID.
Yeah.
That was...
I only finished the Shoe Dog book with Phil Knight.
Yeah.
He was a man, he owns Nike. He had no plan B, and he talks about at the end.
Yeah.
He mentions like Tiger, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, and how he closed them deals. And then I went on and watched the Tiger Woods documentary. His dad actually pulled him out of school and said to him, you're going to play golf and win and do absolutely nothing else. And I think that's why we have Tiger Woods.
Yeah. Because it's just plan A.
Yeah. I think Jordan...
Plan A or nothing else.
Yeah.
Sometimes we were mentioning all these people who have made it. I'm sure there's countless who haven't made it and haven't had a plan B.
Yeah.
But at least they know I've given it everything. Even if you've put your standards so high, even if you fail, it's above others.
But the beauty of the times we live in today, which I know I said we live in uncertain times, but also there's a beauty to it as well, in that people have a medium of showcasing something they're passionate about, showcasing a skill, and you have it in social media.
Yeah.
You know, and that's essentially what I did. You know, I thought there would have been a route for me to RTE and Today FM or whatever before social media became a prominent thing. So, you know, people were lucky in a sense that, you know, they can build a platform for themselves, you know, because that wasn't possible at all going back 15 years ago, and now it is.
Definitely.
You know,
what has been the most memorable moment in your career?
Riyadh 2023, the night before Fury v Ngannou in the exhibition fight.
Mm.
I was on stage. Did you hear this one before?
No.
I was on stage doing a gig. By the way, probably one of the worst gigs I've ever done, but I don't care because I could tell that it wasn't gonna be like amazing. People weren't going to be fixed on me because the room was full of very important people who were mingling. But I did it anyway. I did a gig with Michael Buffer on stage, and I was doing my usual spiel. Like, the gig went well. I got good laughs. I did, but just it was during a meal. People were walking around, but the people in that room, Mike Tyson, Manny Pacquiao,
Jesus.
I
I think I remember the one you're on about.
Israel Adesanya,
Chuck
Tyson
Liddell.
Fury, Ngannou, Luis Figo, Brazilian Ronaldo, Joe Calzaghe, Sugar Ray Leonard, and in the corner, because he was attending the fight the following night. In the corner while I was doing my gig, Eminem.
Jeez.
My God, what I would have
He
done
was
to
in
get
the
in that
room
room
while
with
I
a
was doing the
microphone.
gig, and I up on stage with Michael Buffer, and Eminem was there.
That's crazy. Did you not just want to jump off the stage and just...
Oh, it's so much security. So
I'd say
many
he's hard to
people.
crack.
So many
very
people.
hard.
Cristiano Ronaldo was there.
Was he? Yeah, he was at that fight.
He wasn't in the room though, but he was.
He was there, yeah.
It's the picture. If you look, there's a picture, and you've Turkey Al Sheikh he's obviously organised. He's built this whole Riyadh season.
Have you done
that
one
he's
with him
built.
yet?
Have you done what the?
An impression?
No, I haven't done
No.
an impression.
Have you met
of him? No. No, haven't met him. Just kind of seeing him at the events, but yeah, like he put the whole thing together and brought all of these big stars over. But
Yeah.
It was.
If you meet him, tell him I was asked for him.
I think Eminem be very
Well,
hard
he's
to crack.
saving boxing, isn't he?
Ah,
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
He's putting eyes on the sport. He's putting the best fights together. That's what you want to see. You know, the politics have been pushed to the side with boxing. You know, the bickering between promoters is non-existent essentially. You know, so it's great to see.
Yeah, and he's getting great crowds. I think the crowds alone bring a lot more eyes to the boxing than some, like, obviously.
Pay-per-views.
Yeah, the crowds, just when people say, "Oh, this person was at that fight," or "This person was at that fight," makes them pay more attention.
Oh,
to
the celebrities, you mean? Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, well I mean, didn't he have Mr. Beast? He was.
He gets everybody. Like Ronaldo himself, the fact that he can get him to it.
Yeah.
I know he lives in Saudi Arabia as well, Ronaldo, but like, even him alone would get eyes on a fight.
At the Crawford, did you see the attendees at the Crawford Canelo fight?
I seen Mr. Beast was there.
Mr. Beast, Mark Wahlberg,
Tyson was
Mike
there, wasn't he?
Tyson, Jason Statham.
You were on Mark Wahlberg's story, weren't you? How
It's a
did that?
funny one.
How did that feel?
So, it's a tale of two premieres within the space of 2 years, and two movies, the first movie and the sequel. So Daddy's Home, starring Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg. I was doing the red carpet with Joe.e. I worked with Joe.e for a couple of months. I left them. I was doing a bit of work with them, and I remember doing my Mark Wahlberg impression for Will Ferrell, and Will Ferrell just stopped, looked at me in a very stoic manner, and said, "That's probably the worst Mark Wahlberg impersonation I've ever heard." So then the PR girl came up and said, "Under no circumstances are you to do the Mark Wahlberg impression." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, so I had to ask him just general questions about the movie. So she stopped it because she thought Mark would be offended. Typical fucking PR. Yeah.
Did you get the video?
Well, the story doesn't end there. I did it. Yeah, the video's there. Never got out. I'd actually love to take a look back at it. 2 years later, the premiere for the second movie is in the. So the first one was in the Savoy. The The second one was in the Odeon in Point Village.
Yeah.
And we were just attending. I wasn't working at it. I wasn't doing any press, red carpet stuff.
Mm.
And my missus at the time, she was my girlfriend at the time, she's my wife now, Alison, decided to scream at Mark Wahlberg. Mark, my boyfriend does an impression of you. He get Mark, what? Oh, really? All right. Why don't you come over here? Why don't you do a little video? So he got his camera out. And of course, I did the impression of Mark Wahlberg. It's all right. Really good. But he never posted it. I think I was on his story a few months ago because I did an impression of him, the Christmas video.
Mm.
But he never posted that. But my wife got me doing the impression with him.
That's deadly.
But then a couple of months ago, the video I did, Celebrities at Christmas Time, he posted it on his story.
And that shows it at first. Like, you probably thought to yourself, oh, Mark might not like it, and then he
I did,
reshares it for you.
Yeah.
That's what we find as well. Like, the PR always kind of make you, in your own head, you think, oh, maybe these celebrities aren't nice people. And then when you meet them, it's like they are nice people, but the PR just protecting them or whatever.
They're protecting them.
Yeah.
But in a way, it doesn't do them favours as well, because, you know, some people can be blind to the fact that they think, you know, that the person working for them, and, you know, the PR lady or guy is, like, channeling them when they're not, you know.
Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years? What's the long-term vision?
I want Douche TV to be a big success. I want us to not just cover boxing. I want us to expand into different sports. I want to create more fun content. I want to just build up a following as well, you know, just keep building that on TikTok and Instagram slowly but surely. I want to come up with new concepts. I want Man United to win the league.
We all want that. That's what we all want.
I just want, I want to be secure. I want just my family to be secure, and me to just, you know, keep hustling, keep trucking, you know, keep doing my thing.
Yeah.
That's ideally what I want, and enjoy life in that process as well. You know, life at the minute for me, like, let's not get it twisted. I've got 2 young kids, 2 and 6. It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to manage that. It's beautiful at the same time as well. But, you know, sleep becomes
a
rare commodity. Sleep becomes a treat when they're that age. My 6-year-old is brilliant. She loves school. She loves structure. My 2-year-old is the cutest little thing ever, but she's mad as a button, you know. But, you know, they and my wife, obviously, she's just the hardest worker you'll ever see in your life. You know, she's a teacher, you know, but she's great at what she does. She's a great mom, an unbelievable mom, you know, so creative with the kids. And, you know, the 3 of them, my girls are my why now. They are. There's still a bit of, you know, the aspirations that I had, you know, before I met my wife and before my kids came along. Yeah, they're still there as well.
But I think they just drive that even on for
they do, yeah. Bring them along for the ride. Yeah, you know, that's the key. But if I don't reach the pinnacle that I set for myself years ago, I don't mind. I'm happy. I'm happy doing what I do. You know, if it happens, it happens. At the minute, I'm fairly happy and content with everything that's going on. You know, I am.
Daily.
And I want my kids, I want them to be 1,000 times more successful than I am. And I want them to have far more talent than I have. I don't view myself as a talented person. I just view myself as a person who is lucky enough to have an ability to do these things. But, like, you know, when I started doing the impressions, they weren't the full shilling at the start. I had to practice and hone them. As I said to you earlier on, every day was a school day. They were abilities that I had to just improve on every time, you know.
Is there something you think we should have asked you, or something that you wish we had have asked you, or something you think we should bring to the next interview?
Oh no, you covered everything with regards to my career. Probably United. My Twitter. My Twitter is just all football.
Right, Deadly, it's been a pleasure.
Legend.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
What's
you.
your socials for people that want to follow you?
It's at Foran Comedy on TikTok, on Instagram, and at impressionist on Twitter. And lads, I just want to say thanks so much for having me on. I'm so sorry it took this long for me to
You're all
get
good.
on here, but we made it. We're here.
We're honoured to have you
and
on.
I'm so happy for your success with this podcast as well. Yous are two brilliant interviewers, and yous ask really in-depth questions, and you caught me off guard a couple of times, which I love. It's, you know,
That's
you made me think, which is it's
Yeah.
great. That's I love to see that.
Deadly,
Legend, thanks
a
for
lot.
that. Honoured. I'll take us out. Episode 55 wrapped up.